What's up, y'all? I am in Colorado for the next week. I have 3 videos for you guys. Gonna walk through 3 amazing streams in a little bit more detail. Totally different, unique areas, and they all fished incredible. So, hope you guys enjoy the video.
All right, good morning. It's about 6:30. Checked the truck, said it was 31 degrees, so making some coffee, some oatmeal, eating half a bagel. Gonna warm up a little bit before I do anything else. But it's a nice brisk morning for sure. Should be a good hiking weather.
So waited till about 8:30 or so. It's good hiking weather. Started making the hike. This is a wilderness area.
All right, y'all. We are finally on a stream. Man, what a pretty area. Saw some guys. There's a lot of dudes unloading horses. Some guys already got started. Guessing it's bow season, so
Just this super cool stream. Pretty shallow when I got there. I've never seen or fished this stream. I just gathered some information off the internet and decided I would make a drive.
I got my 8.5 foot 4-weight. Definitely could have brought my 3-weight, looks like, but I hadn't seen the stream before, so I didn't really know. And the 4-weight covers me for everything, but that's pretty shallow and pretty tight. So anyway, we're gonna just keep hiking. This trail's supposed to go for a long way. What a pretty area. Try to get away from the trailhead a little bit.
But probably could have fished my 3-weight. It's just, you can't always tell just from looking at satellite pictures on the internet. But what I found was a pretty amazing stream. I wasn't sure what I was going to find when I got there. Definitely the beginning of this looks like a shallow stream that's overgrown with willows. But what I eventually found after hiking for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, was a stream that was pretty broken up between beaver dams, which made some really interesting fishing.
All right, I figured this was a good enough spot. I was standing and the trail went up on top of that ridge and there was a little fire ring and it kept going. So I was like, you know what? I stopped here, saw some fish rising here, and then the creek goes up. So there must be a beaver dam back there. So there's some fish. There, I figured it's a good spot. I've been hiking for about an hour and a half, maybe an hour and 15 minutes. Ready to fish, so just need to get rigged up a little bit.
Had a hopper on to begin with, but made the first cast and immediately knew that the hopper was not going to be great for this situation because the water's kind of skinny, super clear, and as soon as it hit the water, which I kind of knew beforehand that might be a little bit bigger or too big for the area, definitely made too much of an impact on the water, and the fish just kind of spooked. So went around the other side of this little beaver pond, got into a different position, re-rigged, threw on about a size 18 parachute Adams, but it had a bright pink post. What I tied that on originally is because some of the stream was kind of overgrown and it was hard to see. So I figured a bright post would work well. What I found was the fish, they would come to look at the dry, but I think that post was spooking them. So pulled my flies back in, re-rigged. Don't want about a size 18 parachute olive, went with a white post, got rid of that pink, and at least this time the fish were coming to check it out, but they weren't really wanting to eat the dry, but we want a dropper this time. It's about a size 18 eagle olive, and caught a brown pretty quickly after changing flies, which gives me some hope that at least I have a rig for the ponds, because what I found was there would be a pond and then there'd be a run between the ponds, and the fish would be stacked in those runs as well. So I had to make a decision if I wanted to fish the ponds or if I wanted to fish the runs. I decided to keep that white post, and it gave me some good options. What I would do is take the dropper off in some of the spots where it would drag, and I would sight fish the browns along the edges as I was walking up, and then I would get back into the ponds. I would throw the dropper back on.
Like a little evil olive looking. It's like a little betas. Everything seems to be small, at least that's what they seem to be looking at.
And catching fish on the dropper. So I had a pretty good spot here. Caught some fish, nice cutthroat. My camera died. Definitely having some problems with my camera over the next week, but the fishing trip
I
was
think I
fantastic.
found at least a dropper that they'll respond to. They'll come up and look at the dry, but
I move up to the top of this pond and make a cast out across. And then at the last minute, I kind of see to my right over here, there's a brown. He's sitting right there. I hadn't seen him on the way up. Most of the fish were kind of holding at the front of the pools, but he was kind of back a little bit. But pretty cool, pretty little fun little fish to catch. So most of this stream was basically beaver pond with stretches of creek in between the beaver ponds. The beaver ponds are what make this stream so fantastic. They give these fish some deep water. The fish are probably bigger than what you should find in a stream this size, but these beaver ponds are scattered all throughout the stream. I mean, there's some deep holes, some brook trout, some big brook trout, some big browns, and it's a fun stream. Definitely want to go back and fish this a little closer, but I was on a schedule, had a couple other streams I wanted to see, so I only gave myself 2 days on the stream. Fun little stretch of water here, working up, caught a brown at the back of that dam. And then move up, and it's kind of getting windy. Kind of glad to have my 4-weight here, but working the edge over here, looks like a fishy spot. There's got to be some fish in there. So I lay out a little olive, and immediately fish comes swinging out and grabs it. And the crazy thing was is that I landed this fish. You can see there's gonna be some other fish in this pool. I pull him out, I walk back to kind of behind this dam, and then release that fish and go back up. And I'm sight fishing a different fish, and this other bigger brown shoots out from the cut bank and eats that dry. Super, what an incredible fishery. So here's a spot I was walking up and I could see a fish. He's kind of tailing, kind of right at the tail end of where you see those branches in the water. He's like right there. And just kind of lay out this little size 18 parachute olive, and he swipes at it as soon as it drifts by. Man, what a fun stream. Just a pretty fish.
basically just walking up looking for fish at this point because they're spooky.
Okay, so I'm working up the edge and just basically looking for any little shadow, and I find one right there on the edge. He comes up and eats. Fun little fish.
All I'm doing is walking and looking for little limeish, greenish, dark greeny little spotches on the edges, because they're just casting up there is spooking them. So you kind of got to pick your shot. Like that looks like one over there. That's definitely one right there. So you got to go up slowly. Just spooked that one.
I get to this spot here and I can kind of tell it just looks too fishy, so I spend some time on it. I cast a couple times, recast more, keep working. I just feel like a spot like this, all covered up, good water, good flow, there's got to be a fish in there. It takes some work, but I finally get him to come out and eat. This is pretty much how the whole day went. I would just creep up in the creek, in between the dams, and then sight fishing, trying not to spook fish. They were just loaded. This creek had just tons of fish in it. It was an amazing fishery. Get back to camp that night, decided I want to relocate to the other side of this little plateau. Found a good campsite there the night before. So I relocated, drove to a different area. That's the great thing about truck camping is that I don't have anything set up, so I can just move, relocate, super easy. These are the views you look for when you're camping. It's just such an amazing spot. I get up the next morning, decide I'm gonna make my way back up, fish the same where I left off.
All right, so I hiked up to about where I left off yesterday. Let's see. We're just gonna start here, or at least someplace with a little more opening. Let go.
And what I found was that I was catching mostly browns at the lower section, which is what you would expect. And then the higher I got up in elevation and further I got away from the trailhead, I got into more brook trout and cutthroat. This stream goes on for several more miles, probably like another 10 or 15. So it's a good wilderness. I think I'll put it on a list for like a backpacking trip. I'm willing to bet that if I got further up into the stream, I would find some pretty good cutthroat. I heard a rumor about a guy who had gone up and found some more beaver dams and caught some really good cutthroat. So it was a little bit too far for me to make in 2 days, but definitely someplace I'm going to revisit. So I hiked further up into the stream, finding some cutthroat, finding some brook trout. The browns are starting to become a little bit less as the day goes on, and then I found this cutthroat. This is the craziest thing. I hooked this cutthroat, had a bad angle on it, so he throws the hook, and then he's still kind of swimming around behind me. I cast back out to him, and he comes up and eats again. I mean, I love cutthroat, probably because they're just so dumb, but they're a lot of fun to catch. So at the end of the day, I walked back down kind of close to where the trailhead is. This little spot right here, pretty amazing. A lot of browns, this little kind of slicked out run. There were probably 30 fish stacked in there, but you only get a shot at 1 or 2 of them before the pool shuts down. And that's pretty much it for this video. All in all, it was a fantastic day. Browns, brook trout, cutthroat, fantastic stream. Can't wait to come back and fish this again. Definitely on my list. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.